Hello everyone, welcome to the Ayurveda Academy YouTube channel. Myself, Dr. Amarande, and I am going to share some information regarding PhD in Ayurveda. This is my second video on PhD program. In previous lecture, I have discussed shortly about the PhD program conducted under the MUHS, that is Maharashtra University of Health Sciences, Nashik. Those who have not watched the first video can watch it by clicking on the I button or can get link of first video in the description box. So in this video, I will try, I will reveal some more information regarding PhD program in Ayurveda. I will try to answer the questions which were being asked by the viewers after watching the first video. The very first question which arises to student, or rather I say postgraduate doctors, that why to do PhD? So the answer to this question will be, it is the higher academic qualification that is nearly last stage towards any education system, and those who want to achieve this qualification can go for the PhD. Secondly, if anyone has desire to do PhD or wants to become MD, MS, or PhD guide in an institute, then he or she must do PhD. Next, PhD can help you to get increment or promotion in or higher post in your institute. And finally, if someone has wished to do PhD in their life or in their stream, they can opt for the PhD program. The next question which comes to mind of a viewer or a Ayurveda postgraduate student, that is it necessary? Whether PhD is necessary? The answer for this question is yes, but for the following category persons. That is, one who is eager to learn or contribute to the science, he can go for PhD. One who is having interest in research, who want to build its qualification, want to build their strong resume and get a job in a university or college, he can join PhD. One who want increment or promotion in the existing institute, they can also go for PhD. And finally, the one who is having enough time and nothing has left to do after his MD degree or MS degree, he can also go for the PhD. Then who are not required to do PhD, for whom the PhD is not necessary. The one with a well settled practice or who having well position in some institute, they need not to do PhD. The one with permanent job at undergraduate college or in state or central government, they also need not to do PhD. One with who is involved in practitioner academic world, or we can say non-academic career, they also need not to do PhD. Those who are not interested in research, they should not do PhD. The MPhil degree holder, they also need not to do PhD. Professors in Ayurveda college who are already PhD guide, mm, basic on their experience on the in the teaching field, they also should not PhD. They do not require PhD degree. The one with creative mind and having multiple responsibilities at home, institute, or society, they also try to avoid PhD as it can become difficult for them to pursue a PhD. Then, who are the favorable persons for pursuing PhD? The one with researcher's mind, they can go for PhD. The one who knows research methodology and medical statistics, having good computer knowledge, who is expertise in English, at least in writing, who has logical thinking ability, who has interpretative knowledge in their specialty, who can do multiple studies and publication, and who is willing to learn constantly. These are the persons uh, who can pursue PhD, and they will get a definitely success in their PhD, and they will conduct a good study in their PhD. So, what are the streams available for the PhD in Ayurveda? and what are the qualifications for the uh, PhD in various streams. So in the previous video, I had revealed about the various streams available under MUHS for the PhD. Right now, we are talking about the PhD in Ayurveda. So I will reveal the available PhD courses in Ayurveda and what qualification are required for the uh, PhD in concerned subject. So this is the short list, and I will try to provide this PDF file in the description box. Those who want to uh, go through it with more details, they can go through it, or also we will provide you the link where you can download for yourself. So for the first one is PhD in Samhita. For PhD in Samhita, one has to do MD Ayurveda in Samhita and Siddhanta. No else subject is been allowed to do PhD in Samhita Siddhanta. Second, PhD in Sharir Rachana. For that, MS Ayurveda Shalya, MD Ayurveda in Sharir Rachana or Sharir Kriya is necessary. For PhD in Sharir Kriya, the one with MD degree in Ayurveda in subject Sharir Rachana, Sharir Kriya, or Samhita and Siddhanta or Kai Chikitsa, any one of these can go for the PhD Sharir Kriya. The next one is PhD in Agat Tantra. For that, one has to do MD Ayurveda in Rasa Shastra and Bhaishya Kalpana, or MD Ayurveda काय चिकित्सा और द्रव्य गुण विज्ञान और अगत तंत्र एवं विधि विद्या. The next one is PhD in Dravya Guna. For PhD in Dravya Guna, one has to do MD Ayurveda in Rasa Shastra and Bhaishya Kalpana or Dravya Guna Vigyan. Or one more thing is there, the one with diploma in Dravya Guna with 2 research papers, they can also go for the PhD in Dravya Guna. Dravya Guna is usually nowadays termed as pharmacology and standardization. Next one is PhD in Rasashastra and Bhaishya Kalpana. For that, MD Ayurveda in Rasashastra and Bhaishya Kalpana or Dravya Gun Vigyan. These are mandatory. And one with Ayurvedic pharmaceutics, that is Rasashastra Bhaishya Kalpana with 2 research papers, he or she also can proceed for the PhD in Rasashastra Bhaishya Kalpana. The next term is PhD in Rog Nidan and Vikruti Vigyan. The one with MD Ayurveda in Rog Nidan एवं विकृति विज्ञान or MD in Kai Chikitsa or having diploma in Rog Nidan uh, with 2 research papers, they can opt for the PhD in Rog Nidan and Vikruti Vigyan. The next one is PhD in Swastharutta. For PhD in Swastharutta, one has to do MD Ayurveda in Swastharutta or in Kai Chikitsa or diploma in Swastharutta and Yoga with 2 research papers. Now, PhD in Kai Chikitsa. For PhD in Kai Chikitsa, one must be qualified as MD Ayurveda in Samhita Siddhanta or Rog Nidan एवं विकृति विज्ञान or MD Kai Chikitsa or Diploma in Ayurvedic Cosmetology and Skin Disease with 2 research papers. These are the qualification for uh, doing PhD in Kai Chikitsa. The next one is PhD in Shalya Tantra. For Shalya Tantra, one has to qualify MS Ayurveda in Shalya or in Shalakya Tantra, or he or she must be MD Ayurveda in Rachana Sharir subject or Sharir Rachana. For PhD in Shalakya Tantra, one must do his post graduation, that is MS Ayurveda in Shalya or Shalakya Tantra or Shalakya Karna Nasa evam Kantharog or MS Ayurveda in Netra Rog. No one else is allowed to do rather than this the PhD in Shalakya Tantra. The next one is PhD in Sri Rog and Prasuti Tantra. For Sri Rog and Prasuti Tantra PhD, one must be having MS Ayurveda in Prasuti Tantra and Sri Rog, or he or she must be MD Ayurveda in Komar Nritya, that is Bal Rog, and the diploma holder in Sri Rog and Prasuti Tantra with 2 research papers, they also can go for the PhD in Sri Rog and Prasuti Tantra. The next one is PhD in Komar Nritya. For that, one has to do MS Ayurveda in Prasuti Tantra and Sri Rog or MD Ayurveda in Kajikissa or MD Ayurveda in Komarbitya, that is Balrog. Also, the one with diploma in Balrog with two research papers can go for the PhD in Komarbitya. The next course is PhD in Panchakarma. For PhD in Panchakarma, one has to complete his MD in Ayurveda in Panchakarma subject or in Kachikisa subject. Also, the one with diploma in Panchakarma with two research papers can opt for the Panchakarma PhD. The next stream which is made available by the MUHS is PhD in Yoga. Now, nearly 95 category of postgraduates are allowed to do PhD in yoga. You can see the details in the PDF provided in the description box. Who can go for the PhD in yoga? It will not be possible to read all of the 95 streams. I will shortly uh, tell you who can do PhD in yoga. The degree holders from the MSc stream, that is Masters of Science, they can go for PhD in yoga. The MD or MS Ayurveda degree holder, they can also go for the PhD in yoga. The person having the basic qualification MBBS, then after they have done their post graduation and any field of modern medicine or uh, parallel like that, they can also go for the PhD in yoga. The postgraduates with from the Unani stream, they can also go for the PhD in yoga. Then physiotherapy postgraduates, they can also go for PhD in yoga. Then Masters of Occupational Therapy, they can also go for PhD in yoga. Then various streams of dentistry after Master of Dental Surgery, they can go for PhD in Ayurveda. Also, the um, postdoctor of homeopathy, uh, postgraduates of homeopath, they can also go for PhD in yoga, and also one with MBA, that in healthcare administration, and Master of Audiology and Speech Language Pathology, they can go for PhD in yoga. So these are various streams in which uh, the PhD program can be conducted for the yoga. The next is PhD in preventive cardiology. For PhD in preventive cardiology, these are the postgraduate requirements. PG diploma in pediatrics, that is child health, DCH with two research paper. PG diploma in anesthesiology with two research paper. MD Ayurveda in Swasthya or Savita Siddhanta or रोग निदान एवं विकृति विज्ञान और पंचकर्म और काय चिकित्सा और अगत तंत्र एवं विधि वैद्य or MD. Sorry, these are the persons from Ayurveda. They can do PhD in preventive cardiology. Now, from the modern medicine, MD of medicine, MD pediatrics, they can go for the PhD in preventive cardiology. For the homeopath stream, MD in organon and homeopathic philosophy, MD in homeopathic repertory, homeopathic psychiatry, homeopathic pharmacy, homeopathic pediatrics, homeopathic materia medica. They can go for the PhD in preventive cardiology. Then MD in geriatric medicine, general medicine, community medicine, anesthesiology. They can also go for the PhD in preventive cardiology. Also, the one with having DNB degree, that is Diploma in National Board in Social and Preventive Medicine with two research paper, or DNB in Pediatrics with two research paper, or General Medicine DNB with two research paper, or DNB in Anesthesiology with two research paper. These are the persons who can go for the PhD program in preventive cardiology. So this was all about the available streams and the qualification criteria, which was declared by the MUHS for the PhD program. So what are the hurdles for doing PhD? The very first hurdle is the entrance examination, that is PhD entrance test. And in PhD, the topic and the guide, the for the synopsis. They these are very important, without which you can not complete your PhD. If you get a good guide and you select a proper topic, your PhD will be easy and you will enjoy to conclude your PhD. Otherwise, it will be a mess and you will not be able to complete your PhD. The next hurdle is research exam and coursework training. It is recommended by UGC 2019 onwards. The next hurdle is traveling time, expenditure, and if the center, which is usually Nashik city of Maharashtra, is away from your uh, residential place, so you have to consider whether you can go to the center, whether you have enough time and money to spend for the PhD entrance test. Then, person who has inability to study due to their family or their job or their practice, or who are not much keenly interested in doing PhD, they will also find it difficult to uh, do PhD and to go for the PhD entrance test. Next one is those who are weak in research publications and paper writing. They also find difficult to pursue the PhD. Also, after entering in PhD program, there is a strict criteria for publications in PubMed, Scopus, or UGC approved journals. So those who find it difficult, they should not go for PhD. And research study level and the cost. If you choose a study which will require uh, huge setup or which is costly, then it will be also issue for taking into consideration for doing PhD. So even after that, the one who is having keen desire for going to the PhD, then for them, I will reveal the pattern and the syllabus of PhD entrance test. In PhD entrance test, you have to give two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Each carries 100 marks and each paper carries 50 questions. Each question carries 2 marks and there is no negative marking in this examination. The duration given for the examination is 120 minutes. In paper 1, there are two sections, that is general aptitude and research methodology and medical statistics. Each section carries 25 MCQs. And this paper is compulsory for and common for all the candidates. Paper 2, the subject knowledge test will be tested, 50 MCQs of 2 marks each, and the subject applied by the candidate will be provided. That is, if a person has opted for PhD in Samhita or Sastrutta, he will be given the paper regarding Samhita or Swastavrutta. And the pattern of examination is usually offline mode. Uh, After a few years, university may decide to take it on online basis, but right now it is taken usually offline with OMR sheet and a question sheet. Uh, Before that, I must tell you, in general aptitude examination, they ask questions like uh, which are very tricky and which take times and which are required your logical thinking. For example, they will give you the question that if a couple uh, have one child and a male partner having age such and such, and their child has, which is a girl, having age of whatever that is 5 6 years, and after 4 years they have one another child, and at this time that child's age is this much and the difference between two child is this much, so you have to calculate the age of the mother in that year. So this type of question which are usually confusing, which time for taking calculation, they are asked in general aptitude, and you have to solve it. So one more thing I would like to share with you, that you should take utmost precaution while solving your paper, that you should not write anything on OMR sheet or question booklet other than expected site. And that is, if even if you put any scratch or any tick mark on your OMR sheet or your question paper, it will be considered as malpractice, and your result will be kept held unless you pay the penalty amount for that matter. If you do not comply, if you do not pay the penalty fees, then your result will not be declared and you will not be able to proceed for the admission process of the PhD program. This year, the fine was imposed around around 7,000 rupees for each student, and it was quite a large amount. But still, some of the people managed to pay it, even if they didn't commit any of the major mistake according to them. So this has to be kept in mind. Uh, as I have told you, the result declaration will be after a month or two, uh, and the merit list will be declared after that. For the admission process, the total number of candidates will be considered for your chosen subject, and according to the marks obtained by each candidate, the merit list will be displayed. In that merit list also, the category has been divided. That is for the open category, for the OBC category, for the SC, ST, NT category. They have divided in that manner, and each subject has the different seats in the state. So the PhD entrance test, it comes nearly in 2 to 3 years, and very few seats are available. So after the merit list, you can uh, consider whether you have to proceed for PhD or you can get the admission in PhD. After that, if someone gets admission in PhD and he or she is not willing to continue this PhD program after some time, then what will be the uh, criteria about the refund or cancellation of admission? So here is the information. Within 1 month of cancellation of admission, 10% deduction will be there. Within 1 to 3 months, 25% deduction will be there. Within 3 to 6 months, 50% of the deduction will be there. And after 6 months from the date of admission, no refund of fees will be given by the university. So those who want to proceed for PhD, they must think twice before taking admission, whether they can pursue the PhD or not. For a regular candidate, the PhD is of 3 years, and for the part-time candidate, the PhD lasts for at least 4 to 5 years, maximum up to 6 years. And in between these, no stipend is being provided by the university. Secondly, the full-time teachers in the institute who are proceeding for the PhD program, they will be considered, but that is their experience will be considered if they join PhD as a full time. They need not worry about their experience and PhD. Their experience will be considered. So that was all about the PhD program in Ayurveda. I hope this information will be helpful to you. And thank you once again for the patient listening. You deserve it. Go for it. And good luck for your PhD journey. I would finally like to thank Dr. Rajendra Deshpande sir for giving me an opportunity to share some of my views or my little bit of knowledge in front of all of you. Um, he used to keep motivating students like us and many of the faculty and practitioners to do such kind of activity. So I thank him a lot. And once again, all the best to you and thanks for patient listening. See you in the next video.